A high-value man is a man with standards and principles. A man who doesn't need to rely on your validation for his own self-worth. A man who has a deep understanding of his strengths, weaknesses, and passions, and the emotional intelligence to know how to apply them accordingly. A guy who can be honest about himself at all times, even when it's uncomfortable or difficult. One who stands up for what he believes in without apology or compromise. Who knows that being vulnerable is not weakness but strength, so much so that he embraces vulnerability as an opportunity rather than avoiding it like the plague. The kind of person you want to share intimate conversations with, open up your vulnerabilities without fear because you know they won't take advantage of it. You'll notice that these signs are not easily faked, and the only way to become more like this is by finding your own standards and principles, and committing yourself to them every single day. That's why if you want to be a high-value man, you need to know what you stand for, and commit yourself to it. No one is born with high standards, principles, self-esteem, or emotional intelligence. These are hard-won traits that can only be achieved through years of dedication and commitment. As the saying goes, it's not the years in your life that count. It's the life in your years. Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. You'll discover that the most rewarding things in life don't come easy. They take time, they take effort, and they require persistence and patience. A high-value man is a man who has mastered himself and knows that he can always get better. He never rests on his laurels but instead always seeks higher mountains to climb, more knowledge to acquire, and greater skills to hone. Let's see 10 clear signs of a high-value man that you can't fake. 1. They are self-motivated. High-value men aren't driven by what other people think or want for them, but rather what they want to achieve and be remembered for. They inspire themselves first, then others second. They may be influenced by others, but they don't live their lives as a result of another person's expectations. They are driven by their own goals, dreams, and aspirations. They are aware of what they want in life, so much so that it becomes the lens through which they see everything else. This self-awareness doesn't have to be an all-or-nothing proposition. It's not about being 100% motivated by your goals every single day without slacking or faltering. It's about recognizing when you've been slacking and making proactive efforts to do better. It's not about being perfect, because there won't ever be a point in your life when you can say that you're 100% self-motivated 24/7, 365 days a year without failing or faltering. 2. They prioritize values over people. Suppose you're first and foremost committed to your standards and principles. In that case, this means that you're willing to put your values ahead of the feelings of others, even in stressful or uncomfortable situations. There's a difference between being nice and being kind. The former is when you give in to someone else's agenda in an effort to keep them happy, while the latter is when you do what you feel deep down in your bones is right for everyone involved. A high-value man chooses kindness even though it may cost him some temporary happiness or relationships with others. He knows that his values are far more important than momentary pleasure. 3. They are authentic with everyone they meet. High-value men don't hide or mask their intentions, and they speak and behave in genuine and congruent ways to who they really are. They understand how easily we're manipulated by those who pretend to be something they are not. They know that trust is built through transparency, so they make a point of sharing themselves openly with others without the need to create artificial barriers between themselves and others. 4. They don't waste their energy on drama. Drama is created by people whose life purpose isn't aligned with their true values and principles in life, but rather by the need to control other people using covert passive-aggressive behavior. These are the types of people you'll always find stirring up some kind of chaos because they feel powerless, unless they are creating problems for everyone else around them. High-value men only engage in activities that make them happy, not ones that bring unnecessary stress into their lives. 5. They have a sense of self-worth that isn't contingent on external validation. A high-value man knows that his self-worth comes from within, and has nothing to do with what other people think of him. He understands that a person's opinions can never truly reflect who he really is. So there's no need to seek approval from anyone else before making the decisions he believes are right for himself. For example, if someone insults or criticizes you, they may believe this reflects your character because it's easier than taking personal responsibility for their own shortcomings in life. They don't understand how deeply insecure and egotistical they've become due to their victim mentality. High-value men have the emotional intelligence to know when they are being judged or criticized, and they never internalize it as something bad about themselves. Instead, they understand that the opinion of others has nothing to do with who they truly are or what's right for them. 6. They have healthy relationships. If you want to build high self-esteem, it's essential to learn how to treat yourself well first, before you can expect anyone else in your life to do the same for you as well. This means surrounding yourself with positive people who give you the emotional support you need, without being toxic or draining to you. Achieving this means that your primary relationship is with yourself, and from there, you can have healthy relationships with everyone else around you. To a high-value man, family and friends are a natural extension of himself, because he's already made the effort to be his best self first. 7. They take full responsibility for their actions. High-value men understand that they alone are responsible for everything good or bad in their lives, whether it be happiness, success, love, health, or anything else. This is a direct result of how much time and energy they put into taking care of themselves, and those closest to them. With this type of understanding comes the motivation to make positive changes in other areas of your life, because you know that it's up to you to do so. 8. They are always learning and growing. With high self-esteem comes curiosity, which is essential for anyone who wants to live a fulfilling life no matter how old they are or where they happen to be right now. Asking yourself questions like, what can I learn from this, or how else might I approach this problem, shows that having a healthy perspective on life isn't based around getting everything right the first time, but rather, making mistakes and learning from them as an essential part of becoming a better person overall. Successful people aren't afraid of failure. Instead, they know that failure is nothing more than a way of helping them to grow stronger. They are always looking for new ways to challenge themselves, which is why they keep growing and evolving with the times, instead of being stuck in rigid thought patterns that have no room for improvement. 9. They are confident without arrogance or cockiness. High-value men know there's nothing wrong with having high standards, but it should never be done at other people's expense. People who respect themselves don't need to prove their worth to others by putting other people down. Instead, they let their behavior and actions do all the talking. If you want people to see how great you truly are, then show them through your words and deeds instead of boasting about it endlessly, like someone who compensates for their low self-esteem with afterthoughts and empty words. 10. They are extremely honest. High-value men understand that communication is one of the most important elements in any relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic. They are open to share their ideas with others instead of shutting themselves away from the world, as a way of protecting their ego against getting hurt. Being able to connect on an intellectual level with someone else isn't just about knowing how to speak intelligently. It's about having enough empathy for those you're speaking with, so your message is received clearly, instead of misunderstood because something was lost in translation along the way.